Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live watch party. We're live. We got a lot of faithful viewers. Melissa is in, who I think you got a new job, right? So now you can make the live streams. Hope that new job's working out. Great to see that you're here, Melissa. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Nawaf Khan is here. Thank you. Final season. Can't wait. Yeah. I think a lot of people are really excited, but it is going to be probably about a year. Could be even a little more. We'll see what Netflix has in mind. Oh, Keyman, about the fan-made Dante. I did see it. It was kind of long, so I don't quite remember everything about it, but sort of a fun idea. Season 7 is fake. It is fake. There will be no season 7. Season 6 will wrap it up in a great fitting way. NASA Canes fan, thank you for coming in. NASA Canes fan. John, big supporter of the channel. John and Melissa are both channel members. You can join and be a channel member yourself. Some fun features, benefits. So come on in and join the channel. Brian is here. Thank you. Who do you think will win the game? Kansas City, I guess. What time? When is it? I think it's in like 3 hours, right? Watch party, yes. And it's working out wonderfully. Hey, glad to hear that, Melissa. Glad to hear that. Changing jobs is often, can be both exciting and scary, right? Because you never know how to go. So it's great that it is working out great. Hopefully it stays that way for you. All right, everyone. So I tweeted, what do you think is bigger, the Super Bowl or the Sekai Taikai? Because like the Sekai Taikai is the Super Bowl of karate, right? But since it's worldwide, is it actually bigger? It was just unheard of in the States. Which do you think will get more episodes or longer episodes? I tend to think you're likely to get more episodes. I think you're likely to get more episodes, but not a lot more. Like, I got a lot of comments. If you look at the video I have, like, I have a lot of people are like 20 episodes. I'm pretty like 20 episodes makes no sense, right? Guys, if it was 20 episodes, they would just do 2 seasons. So when I say more episodes, I'm really thinking maybe 12 episodes. And I think the split would be not exactly how you think. I don't think it would be split like 6-6, like I was talking about it being in 2 parts. I feel like it would be like 8-4 or something like that. 7-5, 8-4. As few as 9-3, but like 8-4 or something. 7-5 or 8-4. But like 12 episodes, 13 maybe at the most. Maybe the last episode will run a little bit longer than normal. But like I say, 12 episodes, maybe 13. I'm thinking most of them will be the same normal length, around a half hour, give or take, with maybe the last episode running a little longer, depending on what they have in mind. But I don't think there'll be like 12-hour long episodes. No. It's not going to be that. Yeah, Christian. Thank you for coming in, Christian. Very loyal viewer here and super fan. By the way, check out Christian's channel. He's got some great, like fan trailers and stuff on there too. 12 to 13, like they did with Ozark season 4, and maybe I think 85 minutes may be a little bit long for the last episode. Like I see, I don't know. Like an hour. I mean, I guess it's like theoretically possible, but but like I see it more like an hour. But obviously we don't know the story. We don't know what they have in mind. It could be some weird, like, we're like the second to last episode is really long, and then the last episode is like more of your like normal length. It's like the tie up episode. Everything gets tied up at the end. Like that's possible. Like I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's just a lot of different ways they can do it. We just don't know how much story they have and everything. We do know they were confident it would wrap up everything very, very well. Hold on, looking back through the chat, Galaxy Edit. I don't know what debates you do, but is that on YouTube or something? Go ahead. I'm not looking for a debate at the moment myself, but by all means. The runtime 9-10 hours. That may be a little bit much. Because like I said, like when you're getting to like a 10-hour runtime, you're really just talking 2 seasons. I don't think it's going to be that much. But like maybe 7 hours, maybe 7 hours, give or take. That's what I figure, like around 7 total runtime if you're talking. Waiting for Karate Kid movie. Yeah. We'll see what that movie is. I mean, we'll take a look when it shows up, but we'll see. Get the season divided into with them getting released 2 months apart. Yeah. As Melissa, as I said in my video, when all this came out, I feel like there's a good chance it gets split in 2, especially if there's more than 10 episodes. Especially if there's more than 10 episodes, and that's why I feel like an 8 and 4 or 7 and 5 with like the last being extra long or something could work. I 2 months apart, who knows? Like Stranger Things was like 4 weeks apart. Other shows I guess were longer, but if anything, like I think like Stranger Things would be more the template just because it worked so successfully for them. I think it really worked out. So, and since we don't know, it really depends on how Netflix wants to put it in their schedule, right? And who knows what they're thinking for their schedule. Something I always try to tell people is important to keep in mind. Like, these things are really hard to predict because Netflix could make decisions for reasons you don't know or don't understand. Whether they're looking at their quarterly numbers and subscribers, or they're looking at filling gaps in the schedule. Like there's so much that could go into the decision making. Like, you can't really predict these sorts of things. It's mostly that's just mostly like an exercise in wasting time, like to try and predict. Well, I think part 1 will come out in February and the other part will come out at the end of April or something. Like you can't make that sort of prediction because you just don't know what they're thinking. Because they're almost certainly thinking about things that you wouldn't even consider or know about or have information, access to the information. Last 30 minutes to wrap up. Something like that. I think the Sekai Taikai gets wrapped up before the last episode, though. You got something Cobra Kai coming. Oh, looking forward to it. Everything you make is really, really high quality. Really good. Maybe an hour. We'll see. Depends on how it flows. Hour feels short. Add Booker dying, which means that Sam's vision could be wrong about Tante dying. That's very interesting. John, thank you for the super chat. One Watch party. Can you comment as to whether your agent has been contacted regarding a watch party cameo by the man himself? How many times have I said I've been in it several times? They keep knocking me off the wall. They keep destroying me. You've already gotten the watch party cameo. So that's the cameo. It's already been there every season. Yes, the two are different universes. That has been made clear from the very beginning. They need to wrap up everything. Yes, they're aware of that. Don't worry. And they've already said they have it in mind. They've talked about how they had some ending in mind from the beginning. So I think they got something in mind to wrap it up. The Rihanna concert is bigger than the two of it. Thank you for coming in, Peter, who I think is in the middle of a move. But Rihanna, yeah. She sings popular songs. Let's see, Melissa, do you think that season 6 will be the season where we get introduced to Sam LaRusso just because they did it in tease? No, I think you saw it. Wait, do you mean LaRusso 2.0 or Samantha LaRusso 2.0? Either way, I mean, I think the idea is you've kind of seen it. She was really good in the tournament, and kind of even like what I was talking about in the most recent video, even though like there was like negative, like Sam went and beat Devin with a biased ref. Like, I mean, I think that's your LaRusso 2.0 moment. So you've already met her. You've already met her. I still understand why they're saying Cobra Kai Season 6, Cobra Kai Final. I still don't understand. What does this mean? Cobra Kai will be on. Cobra Kai Season 6, the next season will probably come out next year, and that will be the last season. It will be the final season. That's why. Season 6 is the final season. So they're referring to the same thing. It's not like two different things. That's the same thing. Season 6 is the final season. That's what that means. Okay. Which made 12/19 even lessons. Yeah. I know. People get caught up like in special dates. Like I think some people were talking about like the anniversary of the first movie being released or something. Like I get like you're totally into the Miyagi verse and all the lore and stuff, and you're thinking stuff like that. But like Netflix is realistically making their own decisions, based on their own, corporate needs, to be frank. Like, they're a publicly traded company. Their stock dropped a lot last year. They got a new CEO, right? And someone new came in, who's got to turn it around. And, so it's like, there's nothing really beneficial for Netflix to just release it on like an anniversary date or something like that, especially when it falls outside of the normal, like their normal release schedule or something. Spider-Man saved them and wins the second guy. Do you think the plan for the overall ending has changed over the last years? In other words, when they started, I get the impression whatever ending they had in mind originally is what they still have in mind. It probably involves Johnny and Daniel in some way. Maybe Mr. Miyagi. I was thinking something with Mr. Miyagi. Other endings, some of the other characters could have definitely changed or tweaked a little bit over time. But I get the impression, what they had in mind for the first two is probably still the same for the main two. Tori giving about learning how to take an L in strides. I just feel like giving an underachiever like Tori this kind of story is I don't know what you mean by is no, I don't think that's a storyline Tori's getting. Not in season 6. I don't think season 6 is gonna have that stuff. When you want to think of season 6, try to think forward, right, guys? Think forward. Most people like so many of the questions you get is like you're asking, what about the rigged, tournament from season 4, and what about this from the past? It's try to think forward. What new is gonna come? What new what new challenges are going to arise? But what you're saying, no, I don't think that's a storyline for Tori taking an L in stride for summer 2024. It's possible. I mean, it's possible if it goes that long. We'll have, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for coming in, Cobra Kai World. I don't think Batman will die because he's Batman. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's up to James Gunn, Maybe he'll bring back Christian Bale Batman just to kill him off. Isn't that what they did with Peter Cavill? That was an outside the second anniversary of the race. Yeah. And even then, like that announcement, I think it was mostly just sort of a fluke. Like they were planning to announce it around that time anyways, and it was like, okay. But if the second anniversary of Karate Kid 2, or was it the original? Or why did? Well, it's not the second anniversary of I think you mean the anniversary of the release of Karate Kid 2, not the second anniversary of the Karate Kid. It was Karate Kid 2, wasn't it? But I think if that were 2 weeks later, they just would have gone ahead anyway. It was only because 36. Okay. 37. Second. I thought it was Karate Kid 2 though. Wasn't it Karate Kid 2? Is that why you're saying second? But even then, yeah, in that situation, it was just kind of it happened to work out. It wasn't like we're going to wait 4 weeks for this anniversary. They don't care that much. Do you want them to show more train crews? Yeah. We may get some sort of wrap up. I was thinking, this may be my video. Minor storylines to get wrapped up, and we may get some sort of wrap up with Trey and Cruz, possibly with Robbie. Robbie hasn't really interacted with them, I guess, since season 2, right? And then they've been gone since season 3, right? So we've gone. So maybe some sort of wrap up with Robbie in some way. Similar, there may be some sort of wrap up with Brooks. I think Brooks has got to come back at some point, just so we see the Hawk and Brooks, resolution, whatever that's going to be. Sam LaRusso 2.0, when she's not Daniel's version, but her own, who she is and wants to be, and not just whatever. Yeah, I mean, that was her storyline in season 5. I need to find myself or something, right? Isn't that why she broke up with Miguel? So I think we got Sam LaRusso 2.0. So she wanted to move away from karate, which also required her to break up with Miguel, whatever. And then she decided karate is her life, I guess, is what she decided. And she came back and helped her dad and did really good. So I think that was Sam's season 5 storyline, Melissa. Because that was literally what she said. I need to take some time and journey of self-discovery, right? In episode 4. How's the Eat, Pray, Love story going, right? That was what Yasmin asked her. She's reading some book and stuff. So that's season 5, Sam. Hawk versus Booker fight. Yeah. Christian with the super chat and some that's Denmark currency. The key to a strong season 6 is not more, but rather less. Unless her name is Julie, they should focus on the main group that started it all. Endgame style. Yeah, but Endgame was more the final fight, right? I assume you're talking about the Avengers movie. So like, I think what you can do, Christian, is get both. When you're at the Sakai Taikai or something, it is more. Because now it's the world tournament. It's bigger than ever before. So it's more. And then the ending could be less. The ending is a little more personal. And that's why I think having a season split into 2 sections, something like 8 episodes, 4 episodes, something like that, where like the final bit is the less. We're just focused there. We're back down to where we started, Johnny and Daniel, So I think you can do both. That's my thinking. Is you can actually do more and then pull back and do less and just end where you end, where you began with like Johnny and Cobra Kai. Do you want them to make Mike Barnes a bad guy? No, I like Mike Barnes as he is. I really loved the Mike Barnes storyline. Like I've said, I didn't like season 5, episode 3. But like, as I said about that episode, there's 3 storylines. The Mike Barnes storyline I loved. It was the other 2 I didn't like about that episode. But I thought Mike Barnes was really, really good. And, I'm disappointed there wasn't more of him in season 5. I think Sean Kanan was busy. There was a lot going on. So I hope we get more of that Barnes in season 6. Will Tori join Eagle Fang? That's a good question. I would say it's possible. I do see her sticking more with Johnny than going with Daniel, but I don't quite know what they have in mind. Giving this kind of story doesn't work with an underachiever like especially in the finals. This kind of story doesn't work with an underachiever. I think I see what you're saying. If someone's already like an underachiever, taking losses in stride doesn't seem to emotionally connect. That's fine. I get that. But I don't think that like story is coming to Tori or something. That's not the way it's going. A teaser in December. I think that's possible. I would love for some sort of teaser by the end of the year. I think that's definitely possible. Yeah. Fly, Eagles, fly. Oh, we have a Eagles fan here. Philly. Am I missing? No, these are fan characters, fan fiction. That's who Booker is. Do you think Stranger Things was going, or could it come later? I think it could come later. They take way too long on Stranger Things. I guess we'll see how they line it up, but yeah, I definitely think that could come later. Robbie hasn't beat up Drake. Yeah, I don't know if he'll beat him up, but yeah. We need homeless Linda. Yeah, she'll come back. They'll find a way to kind of like wrap everyone up in some fashion. They want to wrap up the storylines. They'll find something. I'm trying to find myself storyline. Can get annoying sometimes. Yeah, and I think the problem with Sam is she kind of had that storyline at least 2 seasons in a row. Because it was like season 4, it was like, I want to try karate my own way. I want to learn with Johnny because I like what he has to teach. And then it's like season 5, I kind of want to learn my own way. And season 4 and season 5, if you actually look at her storylines, they're kind of like, it's like almost a repeat, just with a slight twist. Both of them were involved like her finding herself, It's kind of like running on a loop. almost. Which is why I think her season 5 storyline, just was a little less impressive, and I think the season 4 could have been better, but that's just going off in a whole other tangent that like it got cut short a little bit essentially. Do you think Devin will take care of Anthony? No, Anthony has his sister for that. I don't see really Devin and Anthony having really any interaction. John wants to know, will we finally see Johnny and Daniel's mom in a conversation? And Daniel, yeah, these are all things I would love to see too. I'm not sure how, but those are definitely things everyone wants to see. Yeah, but if it feels incomplete, then that's just probably how it's going to feel. Like, I don't think they're going to redo this. We're not going to get a third season in a row of Sam finding herself. And probably the reason the dark version of herself was never really addressed is because I don't think they even figured it out. Like, I think that tank was just like, let's just throw a lot of ideas in there, and it didn't really, none of it really made sense. If you listen back to the podcast of episode 3 there that I did with Peter on Cobra Kai Companion, like I was just going through all the meanings or whatever, and I don't really get it. Like it was just sort of like this idea and it messes with her head, and now she feels like she needs to find herself. But I don't think they're gonna stick with this story with Sam. If it feels incomplete, then that's because I don't think her story was very well, plotted out in season 5. So I think that's what happened. Here we go again. More between Amanda. Yeah, a lot of people liked that, and then it kind of went away. I guess it just depends really on how the story goes. Amanda and Tori kind of coming back together. So we'll see. But there needs to be something bringing them together too. Like I think like maybe a Tori and Daniel scene would be more interesting at this point, because that's something we haven't gotten. Tori and Anthony. I just love the idea of Anthony going to Tori. It was kind of cool how you beat up my sister, like because Anthony's the guy who could if you have a sister, you would understand. It was kind of cool how you beat up my sister. Johnny would be an Eagles fan. Maybe he would. Chopstick and flies. There's a Super Bowl conversation. Go Birds. Everyone wants to talk season 6. I do think the Sekai Taikai has got to be bigger than the Super Bowl, right? Worldwide karate. What's bigger than worldwide karate? Yeah, Stranger Things coming after Cobra Kai. The Rams were in LA till 95. Were they? I didn't even know that. I don't know. Be respectful. Speaking of minor storylines, do you think there are any minor storylines that you think won't really be wrapped up? Are there some that don't need to be? Well, anything that you feel is already wrapped up. And that includes some of the stuff that kind of wrapped up in season 5. Like we got like a Louis and Anoush moment, and Anoush kind of dating cousin Ness and such. So sort of that stuff was like wrapped up a little bit. So stuff like that. Kenny in season 6. He may go to Miyagi-Do with Anthony. Maybe he could. The thinking was always Anthony and Kenny could probably get along, right? Right. Yeah, Amanda and Tori's arcs kept them apart. Right, and Tori was talking to Kreese then. So, like, Kreese was in her Amanda role, so to speak. Like, she did need help getting back into school. Like, so Kreese was in that role. Do you think Terry Silver ordered the students? No. I think Terry has, like, special guys to do that. He doesn't get it. He doesn't have, like, a bunch of, like, karate students run in there with gasoline and matches. Anthony and Miguel to interact with. Yeah. Anthony and Miguel would make fun. I think Daniel would try to help Tori's mom as he did with Shannon getting into rehab. That helped Johnny. Yeah, but I don't think Tori's mom can be helped. At least, like, I don't think anyone can save her life. I think she's likely past that point. It's Super Bowl. Sakai Takai versus Super Bowl for the win. Chopstick and Flies is pumped for the football game. Football. I think Anthony resents Tori when he rendezvous with her and Sam. He looks... I'm not sure what specific moment you're referring to, Saints Row. Christian, the Danish currency, I said wants to around $8. With less is more. I meant that it should center mostly around the legacy characters in the venue. It's their swan song. Well, yeah, I definitely think that. Certainly by the end. You know, like I think the end will wrap up with, you know, Johnny and Daniel. You know, that seems like the most. Maybe Mr. Miyagi. Like I somehow get Miyagi in there too. A Johnny and Anush moment. Yeah, but we already sort of got that in season 5, right? Like when they're at the nightclub or something. We had some or before the nightclub, they were at the dealership or something. We kind of already had a Johnny Anush moment. What if Hawk wins the Sakai Takai? Well, finally someone with really good hair would win the Sakai Takai. So that's what happens if Hawk wins. Yeah, the Rams. So LA had 2 football teams? I don't even remember. Yeah, I just remember the St. Louis Rams and Oakland Raiders. I'll be darned. Daniel and Tori, or Tori and Johnny actually bonded. She's dating his son. Yeah, Tori and Johnny is something I've been kind of waiting for. Tori and Johnny. You would think it would come up, but nope. Disappointing with another tournament. Yeah, but what are they going to do? I think it makes sense. I think another tournament makes sense. But like this, a bigger tournament that Terry Silver has his eyes on. But now he got arrested. Keeman, I don't think anyone will deal with Dante, but you can't like just keep flooding the chat with like your fan fiction with characters because people get confused. And it's ultimately just a little off topic. You know, you want to think about these characters and go for it. I encourage you, write your own stuff out and see how you like it. You can even publish it. There's a lot of Cobra Kai fan fiction on an archive of our own. There are people who will even help you put it up there. With her father, if her mom dies, I would say probably not. I feel like her father may just be someone who stays off screen. And like someone asked about like minor storylines. Like I think someone like Tori's father and Johnny's father are the people who may never make an appearance. You know, we don't know who they are. They just sort of stay off screen. Because clearly, you know, he's someone essentially not in her life. And like Johnny, you know, his father is not in his life. We kind of got that a little bit in season 4. Cobra Kai Wisdom is here. I some of the best memes in the fandom, guys. Cobra Kai Wisdom, follow on Instagram. Really, really funny stuff. Let's see. The camera pans to Anthony looking away from. I'm not really sure that means anything. We can't like gather that much interpretation from every stray look. The new characters will comprise the characters that were yin yang in their respective rivalries. Miguel Robbie, Tori Samus. That could be as a whole dojo, or just like to go to the Sekai Tekai. But we'll see. The next time they do, yeah, I get what you're saying, Max. I think there may not be another flashback. I feel like that storyline has kind of run its course. Yeah, like this has come up before, and what I've always said is, in regards, like I don't think there would be another flashback, but if they do, I could see some sort of flashback to like, right before the Karate Kid. That's the only time. That's the only, like, if we could get a Kreese scene or a Kreese Silver scene, like right before Daniel came into town or something. That might be interesting. I don't know if they have like anything they want to say. But that would be cool. Otherwise, I feel like most of those flashbacks have probably run their course. Stupid theories out there that just irritate you. Well, probably. Usually the things that irritate me are like the things that like you can it's well known, like something that isn't going to happen. Like I get people like saying like Jackie Chan and what's his name, Jaden Smith will have to show up now. Like it's stuff like that. Like they want that from the other Karate Kid, the Jackie Chan one, coming in or something like. And then like they insist, and then you tell them no, that's not going to happen, and then they start arguing with me. A lot of times, even the theory doesn't necessarily like annoy me, but like when people start arguing with you about it, like, you know, it's just wasting my time. It's just a waste of time. So So it's kind of like things like that like are more likely to annoy me. Johnny needs to be a great sensei to someone other than Galantori is a god opportunity. Yeah, sure. I would say Johnny was a great sensei to a lot of people. I think he was good for Aisha. He was good for Hawk and good for Bert. But yeah, like what you're saying. No, the fan theories for Stranger Things are worse. All the Vecna and Cass theories are completely ridiculous. I made a video trying to debunk them, but people get excited and they don't want to hear the truth and they just go off on all these crazy, like Eddie's still alive, and then they use this lore from Dungeons and Dragons to justify it. But what happens is if you actually look at it, they have the lore wrong. It's like even the stuff you're using to try and justify your theory is you're actually using it incorrectly. That's not actually what happened in the story. But then they ignore you. Oh, well, they got to change something. Oh God. Oh, love of God. Love of. Give me a break. Let's go Chiefs. Cobra Kai Karate. Thank you for coming in, Cobra Kai Karate. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I think I'm rooting for Kansas City, but I probably won't watch the game. There's too much to do. I gotta make another video. Is anyone watching The Last of Us? I never played the game. I do think the show is really good, but it also really annoys me because that show, it's just stuff that doesn't make sense. Like it could have been better, and it just it annoys me. And so I make a video, I made one, talking about the stuff from the other episode that's like, this doesn't make any sense. And people just ignore it. You're so dead wrong. Of course it makes sense. It's kind of frustrating. I may make another one. Because I thought the last episode was good, but man, it doesn't make sense. Kim Da-yoon spinoff. With the fist. Probably not. Or if I were to rank potential spinoffs, that's lower on the list. Not a bad idea, but I don't think it would get as big of an audience. Melissa wants to know, do you think we'll finally get a conversation between Miguel and Torre? So we had actions between the two since season 3. Can you get a conversation that's not boring? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, they did. They had those gooey eyes at each other in the middle of the prom fight. Remember? It fell down. I think one of them. I think it was Peyton. Talked about shooting that. Peyton or I can't remember which one. It's hard to fall to the ground and then stare longingly at the other person's eye as you hitting the ground. It was kind of hard to shoot. But yeah, maybe a little bit of a wrap up. I don't think there's going to be anything too long, it's yeah. You don't want to bog the season down on just oh, these two people need a conversation and these two people need a conversation. Oh, they got to wrap up this, and then Tori and Sam need to wrap up, from the tournament, and that just sounds boring. You move the story forward. Things got to be going forward. Try to think forward. So I think there could be something where the four of them wrap up. Miguel, Sam, Tori, and Robbie can kind of wrap everything up. Do it in a big moment. Mike Barnes returns in 6. I said in the comment section in his video about Sean. I think they used Mike Barnes a bit iffy in the season. Yes, I hope and believe Mike Barnes will be back. Like I said, I loved Barnes in season 3. my only complaint is I would have wanted more of him. But we got what we got, and hopefully there's more to come. A little bit at a time, work for you, buddy. Buddy capitalized. I like how you capitalized buddy there. Yeah, you talk about fan fiction characters and nobody knows what you're saying. It's not just me. You're in a live stream, and it's everyone in the chat is getting confused. Why don't you think Mike Barnes would turn out bad? Because he did hijack a limo and attack Daniel. He was mad. He was trying to get back at them. Personal vengeance isn't evil. No, Mike Barnes is good. Mike Barnes is good. And he'll get back on his feet. I want to see Mike Barnes training. That's what I'm hoping for. Tori's father or mother might be the son daughter of Betsy. It will be revealed. This is a theory. Yeah, that theory's people love that theory. I made a video on it after season 3, by the way. Little bit of nonsense, but what can you say? People love the theory, right? Robbie's the only one who hasn't won a tournament thingy yet. Does Sam count? I mean, are you counting that Sakai Taikai thing? I don't think that really counts as a tournament thingy, but Robbie Lawrence and wins for his division. Well, it's kind of an interesting idea. Wins. But I think the problem is we just don't know how the Sakai Taikai works, right? Like that's our biggest problem. We just have no idea how this thing works. Is it individual? Is it group? Is it team? So we'll see how it goes. Okay, Keyman, don't worry. I'm not kicking you out. Are you an Eagles fan? Maybe casually. I guess I'm a little more of a fan of the other team, Kansas City, but I don't really have a dog in the fight either way, so to speak. Do you think Tori will start showing remorse? I think we're kind of past that. Like Melissa, like I think like it feels like you feel like, oh, we still got to cover all this, but like I feel like the show has kind of already moved on. Part of this is like from season 4, where she is with Amanda, and Amanda wants her to see some sort of counselor or something, and she's gone through that. Imagine it maybe it happening off screen a little with that counselor she was seeing and stuff like that. I think like we don't need like a bunch of scenes of like Tori going through this. It's just kind of slows the show down. A lot of chat. I'm behind. One makes it's an alternate universe. Yes, that is correct. I think it should be weird if James showed up. Yes, it would be. Stranger Things theories are so bad. Yes, they are. But sometimes when people get connected emotionally to a theory, all the logic in the world won't undo it. Won't undo it. And then they say, and then after it comes out and it was revealed you were right all along, they're like, well, you just got lucky. Or they don't even know. You didn't know. Whatever. Creasy's death in season 6 is unknown. Well, that's true. No, I don't think Betsy had any kids, guys. That seems pretty clear. And Kreese would have known if she did. Cobra Kai Karate. Anthony Kenny fight needs to happen before season. Maybe. I don't know if we'll get one. Maybe a training session or a training fight. We'll see. But I think Kenny's already on his journey here. Doesn't necessarily need to fight Anthony. Maybe the lesson is you can actually end the rivalry without a big karate fight, right? Maybe that's the lesson. You can actually end a rivalry without a karate fight. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting? Sam and Tori in the same dojo? Yeah. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see what they got in mind. Sam and Tori, yeah. Yes, I agree. Mike Barnes needs a badass fight sequence. Anthony uses Dragon Skull. Yeah, we're kind of all hoping for that, right? You had to be careful with that move because whoever uses the move could die themselves. That was the warning on the scroll. Johnny and Carmen getting married. I don't think that would be the show ending. No. I think that's something that could happen in the last or penultimate episode. Like, I think it could happen near the end of the series, but like, I don't think like if you're talking like last scene or something, no. No. So like it could happen somewhere near the end of the season, but not necessarily the very, very end. It's a very... I have that Tori is Betsy's granddaughter. And Betsy is the lady she's taking care of. No, Tori's taking care of her mother, not her grandmother. So, like you asserted, like we know that's Tori's mom in there, not her grandma. But already you're saying it's her grandma because you're saying Betsy is her grandmother. Tori is her granddaughter, and she's taking care of Betsy. So your theory isn't as strong as you believe. Very strong theory, not as much as you realize. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm falling behind. Thank you guys for coming in. We're having a good, fun chat here. Let me see. The Super Bowl of all is the Sekai. Yes. Yes. You're the only teacher. I do believe in you. I think you should write your fan fiction. That would be your therapist. It's not really bait and switch, but it was kind of like a reveal. Usually I think you call it like a reveal. So yeah. In episode 5. Stranger Things takes too long to air in film. I think that is a very valid criticism that I agree with. Like I think I said this last week or another week, but like it's gotten a little bit out of hand. You know, shows used to do 22 episodes, 22 to 24 episodes a season, talking like you know, through a year, 22 to 24 episodes. You know, now they're taking 2 years to make 8 episodes. Like they're taking a long time. Yeah, it's like motion picture. It's way more complicated. I get it, but like, I think first off, like they could have gotten the scripts written sooner. They're taking too long to write, and then they take too long to film. Like maybe we could cut him a little slack before because like season 4 was shot during COVID. So COVID was going on, and that probably slowed things down a bit. I mean, well, other than the delay, even considering the delay, they were still in like production for over a year. It seems like it's just way too long. Same thing seems to be going on with House of the Dragon. It's going to be like a whole another year and a half for the next season. So we're talking like 2 years between seasons. And they even started writing before the show came out. I don't know. I think that is a valid criticism. Because too long of a gap is just not worth it. You lose the kind of interest. The only cast member who was famous before Cobra Kai. Sebastian, you don't think Ralph Macchio was famous? Martin Kove was well known. Been in a long career, Martin Kove. I mean, even Sean Kanan is big in the soap opera world, and out of the young cast, she was definitely the most famous. And then I think Sholo was on Parenthood or something, right? But yeah, certainly out of like the young cast. Barnes doesn't own 50%, guys. That theory is not coming back. It rang a bell. Zach, no. Kreese recognized Tori was in a kind of a similar situation to himself. It was sort of, different but same sort of thing. Kreese, Tori's mom was sick and dying. Rewatch season 3, episode 2. I think like he realized her situation, and it was similar to things he had gone through when he was her age. And that was always kind of like his thinking on it. And even Silver kind of commented on that here in season 5, episode 2, when he talked to when Tori confronted him. And he's like, even Silver was like, I can't connect to you the way you did to Kreese, because Silver knew, they had similar life experiences. Like Kreese saw that in her, and Silver's like, hey man, I grew up rich, powerful, like things were handed to me. I don't have that connection. I can't connect to you the way, but I can talk to you about something else. I brought this up in the podcast. If you want to listen to the Cobra Kai Companion or episode 2 recap, I talked about that. I think it's a very good point. So no, it has nothing to do with Betsy. It has nothing to do with Betsy. It has to do with like how you're growing up and, the struggles you're dealing with. Okay. Hector returning. I think they're pretty good. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I think if Hector has his pulse or his fingers on the pulse of the karate martial arts world, if Miguel and their team wins the Sekai Taikai, he finds out. That's basically my theory. Have I put that in a video, guys? Maybe I need to put that in a video too. Maybe we got 2 videos to make. Yasmin and me. Yasmin is not a fighter. She's a I don't know. I don't know what I would call Yasmin, but I don't think Yasmin and Moon are joining a dojo. Can't think of anything else that's big besides this. Yeah, I understand. Hector Salazar. That's what's big. No, I don't know what you're saying. Your sentence here seems to be repeating and doubling back on itself. Well, the final season and last show ever. Okay. Kenny owes Anthony apology. Yeah, as I've said many times, it seems like Kenny and Anthony is the one rivalry that's not fully nipped in the bud, so to speak. So there's a little more to go with those two. John, thank you again for the super chat. Theory, at the end of the show, Tom Cole shows up and everyone bonds over a boba. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think, like, Daniel wasn't thirsty when he was offered that boba? Or do you think he doesn't like boba? Maybe, like, he loves boba and it was actually hard for him to refuse the boba. Bonds over a boba. Yeah. No, that wasn't someone lying to him. And even those red envelopes or whatever are like a very specific thing, from the military. Like, it has to be put in a red envelope. Like, it's very specific because it's important. Bonsai karate. I don't know about bonsai karate. I don't know. We'll see what they do. Yeah, maybe they'll do a Sakai Tekai teaser trailer next year, maybe the end of this year, maybe something like that, for sure. How do you think it would be if Julie Pierce was Tori's mom? I don't think she is. Julie Pierce lives on the other side of the country, about as far away from LA as you can get. Do you think Terry Silver has redeeming qualities? His intentions, he genuinely wants what's best for his students. That's something, like, you can argue Kreese didn't. Kreese would kick students out of Cobra Kai. Oh, we're cutting the weak or something. Terry Silver never did that. You never saw Terry Silver do that. You didn't have to, like, fight to earn your place in the dojo the way you do with Kreese. Terry Silver will take everyone. So in that respect, he's more open to accepting students. It's not uncommon. Zach, don't just make things up. If there are people who may be raised by their grandma, but they call her grandma, even freaking mommy, no. Don't make things up to support your theory, Zach. Pivotal scenes, breathe more. Season 5 felt like a rush. Yeah, it felt like a rush in some points and then slow in other points. I made a video on episode 7. Go ahead and look at that. I feel like episode 7 was very drawn out, where it was like, okay, let's get to the point here. Like, it could have been, the same episode could have been done in half the runtime. Cameron Boyce, don't mix real life with the show, please. The last season of Stranger Things will both film in Georgia in May. Cobra Kai may not film in Georgia. That seems to be determined. We're waiting to get word on that. Yes, it is. Cobra Kai has been a half-hour show. You are correct. That is why it is considered a sitcom for the Emmy Awards. It's likely when Kreese came back from now, he found out she was alive. They went to see her and found out she moved on. No, Zach. This is why Betsy was in Kreese's flashback in season 5, episode 6. It wasn't flashback. It was the counseling scene and all everything. Betsy showed up there. Don't forget that. No, Betsy is gone. Don't try to force it to fit. Mary Mauser's only pretty much known for. Well, yeah. So is Gianni, and and most of the kids. Dallas and Una O'Brien. It was literally her first job. So Hannah Keppel. That's not. Mary had. She had work. She was in other shows. Do you think Peyton's no shoe show spoof? Yeah, I think at least the premise looks pretty good. We talked about this on a podcast 1 or 2 episodes ago, where I just mentioned because there's some teaser had come out and I said it looked like at least a decent premise. So yeah, I think it's got a little potential. It's on Paramount Plus. Who the heck cares? I do have that, so I may check out an episode or 2, see at least if it's any good. Do you think there will be another major fight after Sekai Taikai? Yes, I do, Melissa. Because like I said, I think the Sekai Taikai is the first part of season 6. Mary did voice acting on a cartoon. Yeah, she did something like that, didn't she? I never saw it, and I know Peyton was on Disney and stuff. Yeah, different people, depending on who you are, what you watch, you may have seen or not seen the various actors in the show. No, I don't think they're going to make a feature. I think they're going to do a spinoff. You knew all the major kid actors. Did you know Hannah Keppel? Annalisa Cochran? How about Nicole Brown? Una O'Brien, even though she'd never been in anything else. Luis Roberto Guzman is definitely expressed interest in returning. I don't know if you're referring to a specific interview or something, but sure, why not? Another enemy of Barnes. Yeah, sure. Mary was an episode of CSI. Yeah, she was in a lot of stuff. She was in a few episodes of the show called The Fosters, which is actually on Roku channel, and you can actually watch that apparently for free. You just go to Roku.com. Even if you don't have it on your TV, you can go on a web browser. I actually watched the other week a couple of the episodes. I was so bored, and nothing to do. It's kind of a small role. It's like a guest star role, but she was there. Tona. Louis' son got along with just yes. Okay. What if Hawk breaks Kim Da-eun's? I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, maybe they'll bring Aisha back. We'll see. Who will win the tournament? The good guys, I hope. Yasmin and Moon are eye candy to encourage the nerds to strike first. Well, I don't know about strike first, but yeah. Yeah, Snake and Dennis, that would be cool. It would be nice to have them back. I don't necessarily know if Kreese knew. It seems like he got there and found out, right? Kind of figured it out. Kreese is a smart guy. It's not like everything has to be explained to him. Yes, I think Hector confronting Carmen is something that could still happen. I actually thought that could happen in season 5. It obviously did not. Season 5 went very different in that regards, but it seems like Hector and Carmen have unfinished business, right? What if she was? Then we're just in fan fiction, Wild Man Beyond. We can do what ifs all day long. Focus on OG characters. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of our redemption arcs are done anyways. Matt, thank you for rejoining. Matt wanted to be a channel member. You can too. You get your name in green. You get the little watch party logo. You should have some custom emojis or something to type too. I don't know. I got to figure out how to add some. 510 was not nearly an hour. It was like 40 minutes or so. Here, let me double check. Well, 48 minutes. A lot of that's gonna be credits and stuff too, but yeah. Due for birthday. I didn't know, like, did she like give out her exact due date? April 16th? Yeah, stuff last, yeah, but I didn't know her exact due date. I knew it was somewhere around there, but yeah, they start shooting in May. They're probably not going to wrap till August, September. She could easily take, a couple months off and come back and shoot some stuff for the last few weeks or something. Yeah, I mean, it can work out. And we know they said they were going to start working on the scripts, the writer's room in February. We don't know if that's started yet either. There's no indication. Usually, like, sometimes in the past, John has like said, "Hey, we're starting," but we don't know. But John, Josh, and Hayden are clearly still working on Obliterated post-production. I believe Michael Jonathan Smith is still in post-production for his new show, Twisted Metal. So Michael Jonathan Smith is doing that. So there's a lot of other stuff like the writers are working on. So we'll see when they start. Now that he's in jail, I think what he does now is get himself out of jail. That's what I think Silver can do. And I think he has the money and lawyers. And I think Stingray isn't very reliable. So I think stuff won't stick on Silver for long. Thank you for coming back, Michael, or Matt. No problem. No problem. We're happy to have you back. The Waterford Fun. Sorry for the mix-up between reality and fantasy. No problem. Yeah. Zach, believe me, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Speculation of final scene of season 6 started with Johnny defeated on the winning big on top. So many lose sight. This is Johnny's story. I think the story is bigger, and ultimately, I think it's still more Johnny and Daniel's. Although Johnny was the entrance into the universe. I think it could end with some connection to Mr. Miyagi. But I think Johnny and Daniel, for sure, with maybe Mr. Miyagi in some fashion. They're considering changing that? Yes. Yes, that may change. Thank you for that. But we were going to try to get a question into John, Josh, and Hayden, but haven't had the opportunity yet. But yes. Rumors and conjecture, though. I'm not announcing I don't have this information. I'm just saying it seems like it may be possible it will not film in Georgia. Kenny breaks Anthony's noses, but it didn't happen. Yeah, I don't remember that theory, or I never saw it. Yeah, it seems like just somehow word got around everyone. It was in the papers even, right? Kreese getting arrested was in the papers. Yes, they definitely are the best around. They've said from the beginning they have an idea on how to use it. If season 6 is the last season, they'll find a way to execute that idea. So we'll see. What other spinoffs would you like to see? Honestly, I don't know. Young Silver and Kreese could be interesting. The origins of the actual Cobra Kai. I do feel like there's gaps there, although I don't think the show will fill it. That would be my first thought. Melissa, who's been a member for 3 months. Has it been 3 months, Melissa? Wow. Thank you for being a member. I hope you know how honored and grateful I am to be a member of your channel. Do you think we will see more of Okinawa this upcoming season? Yes, I do. I really think we'll go back to Okinawa. That could even be the site of the Sekai Taikai. But yeah, I think Okinawa is great. And we have Kumiko, right? We got to wrap up Kumiko with Chosen. So I think a return trip to Okinawa, possibly bringing everyone, is definitely in the cards and very possible. And by the way, when you're a channel member, I think you get to do one post like that a month, I think. Like it's the super chat, but as a channel member. One of the benefits of being a channel member. Thank you. Yeah, Spin and Moon spinoff. It's funny, but a Clueless type thing. I get it, but they're not going to do that. Thanksgiving Day? Get what? Get what? Thanksgiving's probably too early for the season. Could be a teaser trailer around that time, but it's probably way still too early for that sort of thing. Are in the hospital or in prison? Probably in the hospital. Johnny hits hard. Strike hard, man. They're in the hospital. What do y'all think of The Next Karate Kid? Honest, it was such a bad film. It was borderline on. Yes, I don't think it's a very good movie. You know, Pat Morita did what he could. It wasn't a very good script. Maybe a few nice moments between, you know, Mr. Miyagi and Julie, but really not much. Not for me in any way. But, you know, hopefully maybe they can salvage some of that in season 6. Yeah. I think Hector will go and maybe even confront Carmen. What happens, I don't know. But I think he could confront her. I see something like that happening in season 6. Go after Sam. I don't know about that. He doesn't necessarily know who Sam is, and he's not frankly concerned with Sam. I suppose it's possible, but we'll see. It depends on how they do it, but I don't necessarily think so. Lamas coach. That's a funny idea, but no. Hilary Swank, as Peter pointed out, or who? No, Peter. Someone. Oh no, it was Christian. Christian pointed out that, you know, Hillary will give birth before they even begin production. But funny idea. I like the idea. That's funny. Kenny and Hawk patch things up. Yeah, I think that can happen. I don't think that's something they'll spend a whole lot of time on. Albuquerque, yeah. My understanding is Netflix has built or is in the process of building out Albuquerque for like their studios. They want to shoot more there. Like Netflix wants to make that kind of like their base, which means moving shows away from Atlanta. So it's like a Netflix thing. So we'll see how that goes. Young Kreese never drove that. The Ford? The banana boat? You're confusing Martin Cove's son with Young Kreese. That was Martin Cove's son. What was his name? Jack or something? Whatever the football player was or something. That was Jesse Cove, though. Jesse Cove drove that. Johnny had the most screen time in season 5. I never checked that, but I don't think it's that important really. But there you go. PR actors. I guess. No, I don't think they're gonna put a teaser on the Super Bowl. I don't. Has Netflix ever advertised on the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know, but they're not gonna pay for that. I think they may have a bigger budget. A lot of it's probably going to salary. And if they have like 12 episodes, if they got a few more episodes, obviously you need a bigger budget. But I mean, I think otherwise, you know, the money per episode was probably more or less the same. It's not like a motion picture though. It's just not going to be that big. If Terry brings Brandon to speculate, she will have a picture in Okinawa with him hanging on her back. That girl on Danny's back? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah. I mean, it's not a very good movie. The Next Karate Kid. For you, Daniel, you could pick from present day Allie, Amanda. Oh man, Daniel would pick Amanda because he's married to Amanda. So if I were Daniel, I would pick Amanda. Hector lays low. Yeah. A crease show. Yeah. No, I don't think Leah is Julie Pierce's daughter. Possibly. Sam and Tori butting heads while training. We'll see how the training shakes out. You know, we'll see. But that's definitely possible, Melissa. I really like season 5, although I think it has some weak points. But most of them have some weak points. But I think season 5 ends really, really strong. Like the thing is, season 5 it ends really, really strong. It has a really, really good middle, and I think it has a good opening. The first 2 episodes, the second episode is really, really good. The thing is, season 5 is like the middle of the beginning and the middle of the end. Like the middle of the first half, episodes 3 and 4, and then episodes 7 and 8. Like that's like the weak parts of season 5. Well, yeah, I do think it would be nice if they did a little more marketing for season 6. Especially if it's up against, Netflix will schedule on their own timeline. But if it's up against other big shows, the way season 5 was, they need to put it out there a little bit. It's more of a story thing. It's not like the choreography. They were just, it was more of Daniel coming into his own. It's more of a story moment, and Daniel utilizing his techniques that he learned and stuff. Snide? Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see if they make snide remarks. Theory that was due with the car. We'll see. Kumiko heal Mike's grief? How about Chosen's grief? He did see her picture, but I don't know if he can remember that. He doesn't need to lure Miguel. He can just find Miguel, and he can just find Carmen. He doesn't need to lure them. Mike Barnes. I don't know about Mike Barnes training by himself, but the students. But yeah, Mike Barnes teaching sounds really good. I can't. Yeah, L Turner. I understand. Like that's like something you want to know, but as I always try to point out to people, we don't know the rules of the Sekai Taikai. It's almost impossible to predict them. Like, so it's just like, and that's part of the problem. You can't make predictions for the whole tournament unless you know what's the way the tournament's going to run. So will Hawk win the Sekai Taikai? Will Robbie win the, are you even in the right thinking correctly? Like maybe that's not how the tournament works. What are your predictions for season 6? Go to my channel page. I have season 6 theories. There's a whole playlist. Click it. Look through. Kreese met Miyagi. No, I don't think so. Who would you take on a date, assuming they were willing and available? Amanda, Carmen, Kumiko, Andrew, Ali, and Kumiko, and Kim Down. Very funny question. Obviously, I would date them all at once because obviously they all want to date me. So why would I turn any of these lovely ladies down? So we'll all go out. What is that? 7-person date. They can all date me. We'll go to one of those restaurants that serve, like family style. You can order a couple of big dishes and everyone shares. So cut down so I can seem upscale while cutting down on expenses too. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, those videos are good. Be sure to check them out. Yes. They've always said they have something in mind for You're the Best Around. That's something, and that'll come up in season 6. Remember that I also made a video on. There's another song from Johnny's perspective that maybe they'll incorporate in season 6, called "Stand Up." Be sure to check out that video. Kreese will fight Silver twice. I don't know about a Kreese Silver fight. I don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like Kreese is gonna go after something else. Silver's off the board, so like Kreese isn't going that way. So that's where it goes. Kreese never saw the car though, Zach. You're misremembering it. You got to go back and watch season 3, episode 2. Kreese never drove the car. You're confusing Jesse Cove, who Martin Cove's actual son, with Kreese. So that's you're confusing that. Kreese never saw the car or drove the car. Kreese never owned it. Go ahead and watch season 3, episode 2. Which was oh my god, yeah, Nature versus Nurture. Wow, I had a video on that. I can't remember the title. Yeah, Nature versus Nurture, season 3, episode 2. You're confusing Martin Cove's real life son with Kreese. That's the thing. Use it in the trailer, maybe that would be good marketing. Probably help the marketing. Oh my goodness, Matt Moore. Curious on the girls. Terry Kreese and Tori's mom. You're probably right. Glossy circus show. Yeah. Well, I will say I like what you're saying about gritty. Season 4, it was like in these blues, like it was the like shot in these blues and these lightings, and I yeah, it frankly wasn't my favorite either. The way it was shot, it like had an effect, but yeah, definitely something more gritty. Um, I don't know if that feels like for like a world tournament gritty, but definitely I get what you're saying. Something different than like season 4. Better location too, because like the preliminary matches in that tournament were ridiculous. I have a video on that, and go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it. A lot of people talked about the song. It's not very good, but I'll tell you something. If you can just kill the volume and watch it on mute, and it still looks horrible. It looks horrible. It's bad visually. It looks really bad visually. It's just they were in a bad location, so you got to do big. It felt claustrophobic, and it was too small. Kreese will save him. Maybe. Kreese saves Daniel. Maybe Kreese saves someone. Kreese does something. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know about Silver. I feel like Silver's gone. Kreese is the question mark. We'll see what they have in mind. Silver is gone. Silver already was redeemed. He was a changed man, and then he went back. Tori's singing. Tori didn't sing. With the blues and purples either. Yeah, the coloring. Yeah, like that. I don't know. That's not my style. I guess that comes down to Josh. He directed that. And the dark and whatever. Yeah. The final fights were good. The Hawk Robbie fight and the Sam Tori fight were all really good. The prelims were horrible. Spin off of Johnny. Badass location. Yeah. So, yeah. I think word is they got some. They're thinking badass. I guess that's the early word. With a love interest. I don't know about a love interest, but definitely a proper ending of some kind. Yeah, the Carrie Underwood. Yeah. I was never as hateful of the song as others. Although while I don't think it's as good as others, it's not a good song, but I think that whole montage is just so bad. Like I said, you can watch it on mute. Just mute it and look at the visuals. I don't think it looks good. Daryl, no, he underhypes. You cannot overhype the Blue Mats. Oh, no. Silver is off the board for now. He's not going to stay gone. Yeah. Silver can wiggle out of this. Stingray isn't a reliable witness. So Stingray's blown his credibility. They can't convict with that. It just takes him off the board for a little while. It's just a little while. Color grading for season 3. Yeah, you may be right. Clarence the Mouse. Yeah, maybe. Best lighting? Story pacing season 1. Best lighting. Three is good. Maybe 2. Actually, 5 is good too. So that's kind of a hard question. Lighting. Crease might save Dimitri to make up for breaking his nose. Not everything needs to be resolved. Not everything needs to be resolved. Do you guys want a video on Last of Us? Like that, they got some views, but like not a whole lot, and it angers people because like I'm gonna nitpick it, even if the show's good. Like the show's got merit, it's good, but man, this is something like that really bothers me because I think there's things that just don't make sense about it, and I'm seriously thinking about making a video on it. The episode this past week. So make a video on The Last of Us. I agree with you, Matt. Johnny should merge the two. I think Johnny brings back Cobra Kai in some fashion. I think there will be some characters with some backstories. Their story arcs may be the story arc of your typical villain. So it may not like go a full arc. It's more of playing the bad guy, but I think they'll have some background and such. Lukewarm on that show. Lukewarm on The Last of Us. Yeah, I just like it's not like it's horrible. It's not like Velma, which was disgusting and god awful. But like it's like good, but then like it's like the praise for it is a little over excessive. Like no, there's like things about this show that are like frustrating and don't make sense. And like you could be like, well, you can like allow for some of it. You know, like gasoline. Gasoline doesn't last forever. Gasoline like loses its potency and would never last 20 years. So there's no way they could all be driving in cars and stuff. But you know, but like, well, you can overlook some of that stuff. But even if you're like overlooking that stuff, like it's like there's too much that doesn't make sense, and it kind of annoys me. At least I don't own her mermaid costume. Yeah, that's funny. Transformers trailer. I haven't seen anything since like the third one. Tori disposed. Yeah, she did actually. She did. Yeah, Velma was bad for no reason. Yeah, like they were serious. People are like, no, they were deliberately trying to be bad, but no. Mindy Kaling was serious with that. She thought she had a hit on her hands. She thought it's just it's horrible. Apocalyptic world story is very overdone. Well, I mean, certainly if you go back 40 years, it's been done many times, you know, Blade Runner and all those, so many movies. But you know, but you gotta do it right. Oh yeah, I thought that was like the weirdest casting. Like, I guess they there was someone else. Like the story is there was someone else in charge of those rebels who got killed by Henry or something, and then I guess presumably she took over. But yeah, like it was like the most miscast thing. Like it just nothing about it felt right. Like it's just stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I agree that woman. It's just like whatever. Keaton is not returning as Batman. What's his name? Jeff Goody. No. The guy who's running DC. He confirmed there will be a new actor playing Batman. He just did that like yesterday on Twitter. Whatever those rumors are, were completely have been debunked. I would actually say Keaton. If they were going to bring someone back, yeah, bring back Keaton, because he did say it's going to be an older Batman, and it's going to have Robin, who's his son. If you're going to do that and you're having an older Batman, it seems like Keaton is your only answer. But he said on Twitter, new actor, so take it for what it is. What is that guy's name? This is like I just don't care. Like this is like I don't even remember. The future of Cobra Kai. Maybe the future will take us into the past. So there you go. Steph is excited for Luther of Idris. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good. Yeah, theories are light. Okay, guys. We've gone a while. Thank you everyone for coming in. Great chat. Great live stream. I'm glad everyone came in. Thank you for the channel members. If you want to join the channel, it's right there. There's a button right there. You can close. You can click. You gotta close your chat if you're on your phone. You hit that join button. $5 or $10 a month supports the channel. It really helps out, and some nice little things. I'm gonna get some commentaries going, guys, if you want it, but we'll see. Best fight choreography, maybe season 4. But yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl if you're into that. Maybe I'll make that Last of Us video. We'll see. Hopefully I have a little time to more focus. I've been busy the past few weeks. It's just I haven't been able to get stuff out as much as I would like. But thank you. Be sure you're subscribed. There's going to be a lot of stay connected. So have a great day. I will see you.